I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host, Sunny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run these women. Tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury?
Sunny Hostin is facing a financial nightmare. We're talking near bankruptcy level. But the real shocker, her husband has just been arrested in connection with a massive $450 million RICO fraud scheme. So what happened to this once envied power couple? Buckle up, because the twists and turns in this unfolding scandal are wild, and we're only scratching the surface. You won't believe where this story goes next.
Yeah, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, calling the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump won.
We have to know that. This is accused.
All accused. Yeah, all accused, but he's in the RICO. This is a big RICO case that her husband's in there.
Sunny Hostin probably assumed her most dramatic moments would be sparring over politics on The View. But real life just served her a scandal way messier than anything discussed on air. When the drama hits this close to home, even the queens of daytime TV can't spin it pretty. This time, it's not about her opinions. It's about her husband, the orthopedic surgeon whose career may be crumbling under serious legal heat. With criminal charges looming and their finances in free fall, this couple's future is looking more like a courtroom showdown than a cozy talk show segment.
Orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance fraud.
Back in December, the spotlight shifted from The View studio to Sunny Hostin's personal life, and not in a good way. Imagine waking up expecting a normal day, only to find your husband, a respected orthopedic surgeon, at the center of a jaw-dropping $450 million racketeering case. Talk about a plot twist. For someone known for dishing out strong opinions and moral takes on national TV, the irony is brutal. Now, instead of just debating ethics on air, Sunny might be forced to confront them in court, all while their finances spiral and the public scrutiny intensifies.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Here's where things really start to unravel. Dr. Hostin is accused of cashing in on a scheme involving bogus or unnecessary surgeries. Think knees, shoulders, and whatever else could rake in a fat check. According to investigators, he was lining his pockets while insurers were left to cover the bill for operations that may have been exaggerated or never even happened. It's less about healing patients and more about padding profits. In short, while folks thought he was patching up their joints, he might have been quietly padding his bank account instead.
You always say it's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
And just when you thought things couldn't get messier, the drama only deepens. While Dr. Hostin may have been cashing in behind the scenes, Sunny is left trying to keep up appearances on national TV, clinging to her polished on-air persona. You'd expect a seasoned commentator to know how to navigate a crisis, but instead, her response has been a confusing mix of silence and strategic dodging. It's almost as if she's bracing for impact, rehearsing her shocked expression for when the headlines inevitably explode. But let's be real, if Sunny believed this would quietly stay a personal family issue, she's in for a rude awakening. Once your spouse's name is attached to one of New York's most high-profile racketeering cases, there's no escaping the fallout. Avoidance won't cut it, and pretending it's business as usual? That ship has sailed. Now take a step back and think about how utterly wild this all is. We're used to scandals involving politicians, backroom deals, and Capitol Hill chaos, not orthopedic surgeries and fraudulent insurance claims. Yet here we are, talking about an alleged underground medical empire led by the husband of a primetime TV host. Truth really is stranger than fiction.
Guys, this is why we need to seriously have a long, lengthy conversation about healthcare in the United States of America. This is basically it. So Sunny Hostin's husband was basically charged with insurance fraud. What he was doing was doing like fraudulent surgeries and then overcharging the insurance companies for him. This is what this is. So now, of course, he's now being named along with about 200 other individuals in a federal RICO charge case, guys.
Forget The Godfather. This is Grey's Anatomy meets organized crime. If all the surgeons swapped their scrubs for mob ties. Sure, people love to bash insurance companies, and let's be honest, they haven't exactly earned sainthood. Need a life-saving operation? Here's a denial notice and a prayer. But heaven forbid you question their ethics. They'll unleash a legal team so ruthless, they could sell ice to a polar bear. Yet in this bizarre saga, the insurers aren't the shady ones. They're painted as the unsuspecting victims, duped by a doctor allegedly more focused on wealth than wellness. Just take that in for a moment. Insurance companies, the victims. You can't make this stuff up. And of course, it wouldn't be a Sunny Hostin scandal without The View making an awkward cameo. The irony is almost poetic. Sunny, known for grilling guests and holding people accountable with fiery conviction, now finds herself on the receiving end of questions she's usually the one asking. Her husband is just one name in a massive lineup of nearly 180 defendants accused of orchestrating a scheme that siphoned millions. Funds that, in a better world, would have gone toward helping real patients.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run these women. Tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud. And I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
Sunny, meanwhile, is doing her best impression of nothing to see here, staying tight-lipped and carefully curating the image of a woman untouched by the chaos unraveling around her. But let's be real, this isn't just a drizzle of bad press. It's a full-blown scandal storm. While she sips coffee on The View, tossing out sharp takes on the world's problems, her husband is allegedly knee-deep in a scheme that involves unnecessary surgeries, padded bills, and cash kickbacks that would make even a crime boss blush. And no, this isn't just about one rogue doctor. That would be far too simple. This lawsuit is massive, with a tangled network of suspects ranging from physicians to entire clinics and even hospitals. It's like organized crime traded in its guns and getaway cars for scalpels and surgical scrubs. According to American Transit Insurance, the group behind the lawsuit, they were duped into shelling out millions for procedures that either never happened or were completely unjustified, and now they're coming for their money. And believe it or not, things are about to get even messier.
Extra, last week, we learned that Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history. And they're seeking $450 million. And Sunny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case, and they're claiming that this is completely baseless.
According to sources, Dr. Hostin's legal team is coming out swinging, brushing off the lawsuit as nothing more than a desperate attempt by a struggling insurance company to stay afloat. It's the classic courtroom deflection. Don't defend the actions, just question the motives. Basically, sure, we're being sued for fraud, but they're the ones with the real problem. It's a well-worn legal tactic, and watching it unfold is like seeing a plotline ripped straight from a courtroom drama. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin's silence is growing louder by the day. For someone who's made a career out of calling people out and taking bold stances on The View, her sudden retreat from this particular controversy is telling. Whether it's taking aim at politicians or internet trolls, she's usually front and center with sharp opinions. But now, with her own husband wrapped up in one of the largest insurance fraud scandals in recent memory, she's keeping her lips sealed. Is she distancing herself in hopes of avoiding the fallout? Or is she just hoping the storm passes before it wrecks her carefully crafted image? It's hard to say, but watching her stay quiet while the scandal bruise feels like a scene straight out of a soap opera, only instead of a forbidden romance, the twist involves a multi-million-dollar scheme and questionable surgeries. All that's missing is the dramatic music as we wait for the next jaw-dropping twist.
Anna went in a different direction. But I love the fact that, you know, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he?
Like a month or a year or 10 years?
No,
5 years.
It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He
Exactly.
throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
Let's call it what it really is. This isn't just a scandal, it's a billion-dollar disaster. We're looking at what could be one of the biggest healthcare fraud cases in modern history. And it doesn't stop with Dr. Hostin. This thing runs deep. An entire web of shady dealings is being unraveled, from greedy doctors and complacent hospitals to insurance companies and even unsuspecting patients caught in the chaos. It's less like a courtroom drama and more like a medical-themed heist movie. Only instead of robbing vaults, they were draining insurance funds and cashing in on people's pain. At the core of it all, a healthcare system that seems rigged for profit instead of healing. If these allegations hold water, it paints a disturbing picture. One where some doctors prioritize financial gain over actual treatment, and insurance companies, who are supposed to be watchdogs, are either asleep at the wheel or complicit. And let's not act like the insurance industry is the innocent victim here. These are the same companies that regularly deny life-saving procedures and hike up premiums without blinking. In this twisted game, both sides are exploiting the system, and guess who's left paying the price? The everyday people just trying to get well. If this is the system Sunny Hostin is silently standing by, then maybe it's time someone asked her a few hard questions. Questions she usually loves dishing out on The View.
Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So, but if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, oh, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is. But I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Yeah. I have a totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
I know it's just like twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent. America's racist. America's bad. Okay. I challenge you, Sunny. And this is Konstantin Kisin actually was saying something about this. Find me a country that's not racist.
As for Sunny, she might want to start rehearsing a new line for her The View audience. Well, folks, healthcare is a disaster, and so is my personal life. But hey, who needs a flawless reputation when you've got an audience willing to forgive every questionable move? Let's just hope this case wraps up quickly because, honestly, the suspense is unbearable. While Dr. Hostin hasn't been convicted yet, the accusations are serious. The longer this drags on, the more The View will seem like the least controversial place to be. Who could have imagined that out of all the drama the show has faced, this one would involve racketeering, insurance fraud, and a wife possibly wondering if it's cheaper to divorce than declare bankruptcy? It seems like Sunny Hostin had everything figured out. A high-profile job, a political voice, and a career under the spotlight. But now, she's tangled up in one of the most ridiculous scandals in TV history, and her best move is staying silent, hoping the case will wrap up soon, and praying she doesn't have to sell her view chair to pay the bills. As for Dr. Host, buckle up. It's only getting crazier from here. Will he escape with a clean slate and a fresh conscience? Or is this the beginning of a massive downfall that could see him penning a memoir from the witness stand instead of an operating table? The tension is palpable. One moment, he might be dodging another bullet, and the next, bam! A new twist in the case will have us all asking, what just happened? Every day brings fresh revelations, making this drama feel more like a soap opera than a medical fraud case. At this point, you half expect Dr. Host to stroll into court with sunglasses, throw on a leather jacket, and dramatically declare, "This is just the beginning, baby." But truth be told, what's next for him is anyone's guess. With each new development, we're left hanging on the edge of our seats. Did he really think he could pull off a multi-million-dollar insurance scam without someone noticing? It's like watching a train wreck unfold in slow motion. You know it's coming, but you can't look away. And as for Sunny, she's not out of the woods yet either. Sure, she can keep up the political commentary on The View, but at some point, we'll see how this scandal chips away at her squeaky clean public persona. Will Dr. Host skate by with a not guilty verdict and a celebratory dinner at a swanky restaurant? Or is this just the start of a never-ending saga filled with new witnesses, shady deals, and absurd legal maneuvers? Spoiler alert, if you're hoping for a feel-good courtroom ending, you're probably in for a letdown. This saga has all the elements of a dramatic, twist-laden legal thriller, only this one is real. And let's face it, real life is always more unpredictable and downright entertaining than anything writers could dream up. In fact, this whole case could easily be the real-life version of The Bold and the Beautiful, only with more knee surgeries and fewer romantic entanglements.